Hi everyone, it's Bitcoin from the Big Jabowski. I made some footage of the second week and I think some of it might even be from the third week. I've been really busy and I haven't really had time to record all of my rounds and edit them in full, so I actually had a few opponents reach out to me who were like, oh, I'm looking forward to the round on YouTube. Sorry about that, but yeah, I don't have them. So I just made a couple of clips and like quickly threw them together here to show you like the ones that I thought might be interesting, because to be honest, in the second week, most of the rounds weren't very interesting. A lot of my opponents went heavy on offense and then ended up failing in multiple places anyway. So I won all three of my rounds then. And in this third week, I won the first round as well. So in this fight here, I just figured, like, you know, JKL used to be super popular sort of in the previous iteration of 3v3 when we last had it, like season 22 or whatever that is. And he has kind of fallen out of favor on defense. He hasn't been as popular, and I just figured, what if I throw my own JKL against this? I typically don't really need him for stuff because Hermit Yoda is often with Rey, and he's not really needed with JML either. So he kind of tends to be a bit of a leftover, and I figured here it would be a good spend to put him in and take out this team. And I actually decided, you know, let's just try to sort of misplay it and just take out JKL the very last. Maybe that's actually how you want to do it, but it made the fight pretty easy this way, rather than going for him first and then constantly having to go around GK and Shaq healing him up, etc. So this was pretty easy to me, and you actually get good banners too. Bit of a misplay there with the stun thing, but I don't think it really matters. You get 56 banners for it, so quite a nice one. Then this next fight here, a lot of people have been setting Darth Revan, Talon and Malak, and the idea is that Talon makes it really difficult for someone to use the Trooper comp, because she obviously speeds up Darth Revan, but then also gives the TM boost when you hit him. So I just wanted to see, like, okay, is it really so difficult? Because I found it a bit difficult to imagine. And a minor difference that you use here is you use the turn meter skip with Dark, who is supposed to move second. Like, you do need to have remodded for the version with Bastilla Fallen. And then you do the group attack with Veers. Darth Revan does gain some turn meter now. I actually got lucky with a triple assist, but even without that one, I think Dark here, like, he does about 80k damage or something on that last attack. Even without that third attack initially, he would still get through. And what's nice here actually is that without Bastilla Fallen, your Veers actually has a good chance of surviving. So you end up with more banners as well than you would against the Bastilla Fallen lineup. So really no issues on this one. I do have a fast trooper team. I believe this was about a 350 Darth Revan. So still really no issues on that one. I'm not too sure why people have been setting it so much, but I didn't think it was that difficult. Now this is one I saw in the stats and have seen some people talk about, and I wanted to try it out myself, where you use JKR against Qui-Gon Jinn, which is a really irritating team in 3v3. This one has Mace, not Ki-Adi-Mundi, so that's a different beast as well, but I just thought, alright, let's play it out, and you're supposed to mark Jedi and Anakin first, and then now on the assist call from JKR, which is coming up in a moment, you're supposed to kill off Qui-Gon Jinn. But because this is a Relic 5 Qui-Gon Jinn, he actually lives, and that complicates the fight. It did mean in this case that Anakin got his AoE off before he got triggered, but Jolee is supposed to survive that if he is relicked, has a crit avoidance arrow, etc. And Savior hasn't burned yet, so it worked out a bit different for me, but still the fight worked out just fine in the end. But yeah, it might be something you want to run. I'm sure many of you have already seen or done it. I just thought this was one of the interesting fights in my last week or so. Now you see your Mace still chopping down Grandmaster Yoda without any issues from that crazy offense boost and the offense up. But eventually you get through anyway. I do think you could still lose this, but yeah, it seems like a somewhat decently budgeted option rather than spending a Galactic Legend. Some people like Bad Batch, but I've tried that and have had my struggles with it. And plenty of other people as well, according to the stats anyway. So I actually make it out here with, I believe, pretty good banners too. 56, I'd definitely take that against this team anytime. Yeah, this is one of those guys, I believe, who reached out to me. He got stuck on JMK in the front wall and then that obviously cost him the round, not being able to clear half the map. And this last one I wanted to show here is something that I was initially planning to do in the first week, but then because I spent Mace with I think JMK or something, I couldn't actually end up using it. But I was pretty convinced that this would be a really good trade to use there against the Zam team. So initially they obviously overrun you, but then the moment you have Mace here to be able to swap around and apply Armor Shred first with Ki-Adi-Mundi before Bastila calls him in with her assist call, which buffs as well. Like, this is really where you make so much progress that it's really not an issue. This is a Relic 7 Bosk as well, so he gets quite low. You get the chance to stun him here, so he doesn't really get to do much either. And then Ki-Adi-Mundi just kind of takes him down, no problem. Before we really even need to worry about Zam, so this was my initial suspicion. Mace makes this really easy. If you have to use Old Ben or something, which I had to do then, that totally doesn't work. So yeah, I think those are the fights that I lined up. It's not a lot, but I thought they were interesting ones. I also don't really have recordings of this week. I've just been too busy and will be too busy. But I should be back in the last week for more Grand Arena, so looking forward to that. Hope your rounds went well, and see you soon.